breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Growing up, we're all told, or we're all given one particular definition of the word culture, and I believe we were all told that culture is the way of life of the people. Welcome to Your Perspective with me, Mara Samuels, and I have with me my co-host, Mr. Fred O'Neill. Hello, Mr. Fred.
Yeah, hello.
Thank you for joining me on Your Perspective today.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Today we will be discussing the place of culture in today's world. What's your perspective on the place of culture in today's world? We'll be more than glad to discuss this with you, and I hope that you stay tuned and you keep it locked down because we have a long way to go. You can always connect us, watch us on all our social media platforms, reach out to us, drop your comments in our comment section on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Like, share, follow, and subscribe. And you can also send us a message on our WhatsApp number displayed on your screen and a text message to the number displayed on your screen as well. All right, let's dig right into it. Mr. Fred, what is culture to you?
Well, culture, like you rightly said earlier on, is the way of life.
Yeah.
How certain persons are weaved together and live by some set rules or standards for coexisting. So, all those are big grammar. The ordinary definition there is just a way of life, how people live their life.
Interesting. And we understand that culture shapes who we are, and we have different culture, different tribes, different culture. And I believe that in our metropolitan area where we are, Warri, Delta State, the permanent tradition here is Yoruba tradition. We have
in this axis, they are the Urobos, like you rightly mentioned. We have the Shekiris and, of course, the Ijos. So the Ishekiri man would not want to agree with you that is the Urobos that are, most dominant here. But let's go with what you just said. You have more of among these three tribes, because those are the dominant tribes in this part of the state. What is the case study here. Yeah. So truly, you have more of the Urobos right here in Warri.
Yes. All right. We know growing up, like I said earlier, the culture of our people has shaped us to who we are. It has given us a path to follow, so to speak. So let's talk on the marital traditional rights, marriage traditional rights.
Okay.
When a young girl is of age and she has a fiancé that wants to come marry her from her parents' house, and there are so many things to follow. There are so many paths, and there are so many roads. As it's a long journey, but not to scare anyone. It's a very interesting journey, as I was made to understand. So let's talk the bride price.
Okay.
Is the bride price really important? Like, what is the significance or the meaning of the bride price in your understanding?
Well, what we have been told and taught over time, over the years, me growing up as a young man and getting to where I am today, we've been told that you just can't go pick someone else's daughter and call, that's in quotes, pick someone else's daughter and make her your wife.
Yeah.
You know, there's got to be some, you know, procedure, some steps to take to ensuring that, yes, anywhere in the society, that lady or that woman can be referred to as a wife to a man. So the bride price, as it is called, is not, because the basic understanding for many of them is that the bride price is money paid on a woman's head.
Yes, we pay something on our head.
Now that's not, you know, what it really means.
Okay.
It means, the bride price means the price that a man, or the amount a man will want to pay down for acknowledging the family that you have a daughter that you're giving me. You're not buying the lady or the daughter. You are not buying the daughter. It's just a significance. Is a way of life, is a cultural thing that when you go into a family, for you to be recognized that this daughter or this lady you are taking away from family A, you know, is now your wife, is now part and parcel of you, like the Bible says, the two shall become one flesh. For them to be referred to as man and wife, you've got to go through that. And for you to go through that, it invariably means that you are dropping something in the family to say, I'm taking custody of your daughter,
And so
but it's not like I'm buying her.
So it's as good as saying that in our local parlance, it's as good as saying I don't pay something for my wife yet. I don't drop something for my wife.
Not really.
And then the women will say, they don't do something for my head.
No, that's how they say it
Yes.
in the local parlance, like you said. But significantly, that's not what it means that you're paying money on a woman's head. It only shows that there is pride, you know, being established on that woman's life, that she's not a wayward lady. She's not a wayward woman. You know, bottom line is that she comes from a home, and she becoming someone else's wife, you know, is just a significance, or is just a sign that she comes from a good home and is being given out in marriage.
Okay, because some people, you know, when we in movies, let me use movies as instances, and even for some marriages that I've attended, you know, we hear the elder say something like, we saw a flower in your garden, we saw a fruit in your garden, we've come to pluck it. So now, coming to, in the literal sense, coming to a garden or coming to a compound to pluck something, and now you have to drop a price, you have to pay a price. That thing now belongs to you. It's now your property, because I think that is where most people don't get it right. Some people feel, oh, after all, I've paid something on your head. I paid your bride price, so you are now my property.
Okay.
So they now use that as a means to, you know, one misbehave and.
Okay. Let me also point out that the case study we have now is for the Urhobos, right?
Yes.
Now, for the Urhobo culture, what I understand is, in the time of the dowry being paid, there is always a question that is asked, and there's always a statement that is made. The statement, you know, supersedes the question. The question is, are you sure this is the man you want to get married to? You know, that's the question. But the statement is, when they receive the dowry from the man, that this is the dowry that you requested for this particular matter, they always say this. And in some, I don't know of all, you know, the Urhobos, they are, I don't want to go into that divisiveness, but there's this particular thing that is common, that when you bring, for instance, 200 naira as the bride price, they give the man 20 naira from the 200 naira.
Okay. So that means the man pays 180 naira.
Yeah. So what the statement that follows is key, that we are not selling our daughters or our daughter to you. Okay. We are only collecting this because it is what the culture demands. Tradition demands. So, but we are giving you this 20 naira just to let you know that we did not sell our daughter.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why I said the statement that precedes after that question supersedes the question. You know, so for the issue of you saying that I paid something on the woman's head and that guarantees me or gives me the levity or, you know, the power to now pounce on the woman when I want to, he said, no, no. That woman was not sold to you for the Yoruba tradition now.
Okay.
That woman was not sold to you. Never.
So is this your perspective or that's how it is?
That's how it is.
Oh, interesting.
Not my perspective, that's how it is.
Okay, interesting. All right, so still on the marital rights, the Yoruba traditional marriage rights, we're still going to talk more. Let's talk on the, you know, when the bride comes out and they do all the traditional things that they have to do, you know, so the bride's father, I believe, gives her a drink. Sorry, the bride's father gives the husband to be now, after receiving the dowry, gives the husband a drink to, you know, drink a bit and then give it to his wife. Then after drinking, in some cases, if they are Christians, if they don't do alcohol, you know, in most cases it's usually alcohol.
Yeah.
But if they don't do alcohol, they can use water or wine.
Yes.
Non-alcoholic wine.
Yes.
So in that case, they now pray for them, and then so the husband now sits down, and then from what I was made to understand, the wife now, you know, they hold the wife to the husband's lap, to where the husband is sitting, and they now, you know, do the traditional sitting, and she sits up to 9 times. So she sits and stands up to 9. So they hold her by the shoulder, they put her on the husband's lap, she stands 1, 2, 3, so they count up to 9 times. What does that mean? Because I've heard some people say, oh, 9 means forever. So when she sits on the husband's lap, it means, oh, they'll be together forever. But what's the significance of that really?
Well, the simple truth is there are some things in that event that will make the event glamorous.
Yeah.
That's one of them, to make the event glamorous. And the information as well that goes with that sitting and standing, you know, I think has to do with, like you rightly said, forever. I think when they get to the count number 9, you know, so they say forever. Like I said, there are some certain things that play when it comes to the dowry thing.
Yeah.
For the Yoruba culture, one thing is said. There's in that aspect where they, for instance, where they pay the dowry, just to take us a little bit back.
Yeah.
Where they pay the dowry and the dowry is collected from the man. Before the dowry is collected, the father of the bride will always say, this is the money in my hand, though.
Should we collect it?
If you know, in our tradition, when we collect it, we don't refund it, which means it is better for worse.
Yeah.
You know, so they always say this thing just to put that thing in them, that marriage is for better, for worse, and it is an institution that must last forever. And that's the significance of that, you know, sitting and not sitting, and just to put the lady on and off the man's lap until the 9th time. So I think when it gets to the 9th time, when they now exclaim forever, you know, it invariably means they are passing the message to both of them that you cannot be separated. Yeah, no matter what it is. I think that's just one of the significance. If not, for me, the way I say it, for me, my own perspective, is it's just to make the event glamorous.
Not like it has any particular significance.
It doesn't, because at the end of the day, if they want to go their separate ways, they will still go their separate ways. So there is no undertone, spiritual undertone to that matter.
Oh, you think so?
I know so.
Oh.
There's no spiritual undertone. So that is in the aspect of if they want to go their separate ways. Nothing can hold them if they want to.
Okay. Okay. All right. Still on the traditional marriage rights of the Urubus in this part of Delta States, we understand. I was made to understand, you know, that after the marriage, after all said and done, all the partying, the drinking, the eating, and you know, so the bride is taken to her husband's house, right? if it's in a case where the husband doesn't have a house around here, maybe they could go to the husband's family house, correct? Yeah, so they go to the husband's house, either the husband's personal house or the husband's family house, and they call it the excursion.
Yep.
That's the word they call it, excursion. And you know, they do all kinds of traditional rites. What are some of the traditional rites they do in excursion? Because I know that, of course, I expect that the husband's family will welcome the bride, right? They cook some food and welcome the bride. What are those traditional rites? What are some traditional rites that they do?
I think the most significant one, if I remember very well, is the washing of the woman's feet as soon as she wants to step into the house.
Okay.
Of the man. Well, it's what I was made to understand is that it takes away every form of being single out of her. Everything that has to do with she just basically being single, and now secondly, you getting into another family. Officially, you are now part and parcel of this new home you are getting into. So every other thing is secondary. Where you're now entering is primary. It comes first. I think that's one key area I also looked at that I understand about the traditional rights when it comes to traditional marriage in the Yoruba.
Okay, then I've also heard, you know, we hear things, so we keep hearing. I've also heard of some traditional rites where they ask the bride to sweep the husband's compound. What does that sweeping signify for you? What does it mean?
Well, it's just like
someone that just newly wedded or newly married, asking her to carry big broom to sweep.
Well, it's likened to a particular tribe as well. I think either in the Middle Belt or somewhere in the northern part of Nigeria, where is it the Middle Belt or the West, where one of the things you do, I can't remember if it's the West or East again, my head, but one of the things that the bride would do going into the man's house is to cook the first meal for the man to eat.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
so
yes.
It's just to know all these things, is just to know if the woman is industrious and hardworking.
But why is it that marriage day that they will now ask her to do all of that? But she, of course, it's expected that, you know, before that marriage day, she must have been doing all of that. So why is it that particular day that they pick it as a particular, you know, thing to do for her to cook?
Okay.
And then if it's for someone that doesn't know how to cook, what happens?
Well, it's just, no, let me drag us a little now.
Yeah.
During the bride prize, there's a list of things to be done from the man's aspect now, the groom, the things he's supposed to, like that box of clothes, the way it is now, they are even helping the groom now, because there are some certain amount of wrappers, for instance, and some blouses, tops for the woman that should be in that box. But the way things are now, they just kind of cover for the man. You could, at the end of this, just see like 2 pieces of wrapper and one blouse, one top for the woman. But that's not the requirement. All right. So it is with what you're saying about why is it? It's just formality. The sweeping, the cooking, and all that. It's not like it's that day they want to know if the woman does not know how to cook or doesn't know how to clean the house.
So it's just
yes, it's just formality. But mind you, when this thing started back in the day, ancient of days now, that's where this whole thing came from.
Yeah.
It didn't start 10 years ago or 50 years ago.
Our parents,
you know, yes, our ancestors have been doing that. Yeah. But when they started it then, they meant everything they were doing. The sweeping, for instance, it's not like these days where we have this cutting and stuff like that, that the parents will know that my son is going out with this girl, or my daughter is going out with this guy. You know, so when the man now decides that I've seen someone, just like you said, I've seen a flower want to come
unplug in your garden.
The parents will just say, okay, who is this person? You know, they'll do all those history to check the family and all that. That's how best they will know about the girl and her family. But whether the girl knows how to cook or clean, they will not know until the day of marriage. So that was back in the day, the ancestor. So that's why it's passed on. But now it's all formality, because we know how it happens, how the man will see a woman to say he wants to marry. You know. So, but for now, it's all formality.
Okay. All right. So, We will be right back. We would love to know what your take is on this interesting topic, the place of culture in today's world. Would love to know what your take is on the traditional marital rights of the Urhobos, or what is the traditional marital rights of your culture. Would love to know. Drop it in our comment section on all our social media platforms displayed on your screen, and we would love to hear what you think and what you say. All right, your perspective will be right back. Let's go for this quick sip.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services. Anticipate, manage, deliver.
All right, welcome back. Before we went on this really quick break, we were talking about the Urhobo tradition and the traditional marital rights of the Urhobo tradition, and our topic was still on the place of culture in today's world. What is that cultural right? What is that cultural what is that traditional thing that has been passed on to you that you still follow up until today? Because as we all know, culture, like we're told growing up, culture is the way of life of the people. So what is that cultural thing that you live by that shapes you through your daily life, or that shapes you to be who you are today, or that has shaped you rather to who you are today? And I still have with me in the studio Mr. Fred O'Neill, who's helping me discuss this amazing topic. So Mr. Fred, we were talking about the traditional marital rights of the Urhobos, and I just realized that we didn't talk about the bride price lists. That bride price list, oh my goodness, that bride price list is a lot. That bride price list for you, what is it? What is the significance of it? I know that, of course, before somebody goes to somebody's house to get married to her, before a man goes to a woman's house to get married to her, he will come prepared. He's going to spend money for food, drinks, entertainment, and all of that. But the things listed in that bride price list, do you think some of them are outrageous, or that's how it has been, and that's how it's supposed to be? It was supposed to be. Because I feel when I see some lists, or when I hear of some lists, I'm like, Shebi, is this for marriage, or is it a poverty alleviation scheme? What's going on here? So
no, but for the Urhobos, honestly speaking, I think they are one of the cheapest in the Niger Delta. Yes.
Really?
In the Niger Delta is one of the cheapest. Yes, and well, it depends. Like you said, you've seen a certain list. It depends. It depends on which part of the Urhobo enclaves or communities that you're coming from. There are some that are not really outrageous. There are some that are outrageous, like you rightly said. But the most important thing there are the things for the father, the mother, I think for the youth of that community.
Why youth? Did the youth take care of me when I was growing up? Why would my husband now come and buy things?
Now the youth represent the youth represent the community. Your father or your mother or your parents, they come from a community as well. We are not talking about the Isokos now. If not, I would have touched on the Isoko, because they do that a lot. You know, I don't know of the Urhobos, I'm not seeing that. But for the Isokos, if you are going to marry a woman from Isoko land, you'll be given a certificate from that community, courtesy via the local government of that Isoko, south or north as it is. You know, so that gives some kind of a form of authenticity for your marriage. As a woman from the Isoko enclave, you are glad when you see that certificate being handed over to both you and your husband in the traditional marriage. Yes, it's a must in the Isoko land. That is what I know. you know, so it brings some form of authenticity, like I said earlier on. So for the Urhobos, the list, for me, is not outrageous. Like I said, you asked if those things will be given to the youths. Yes, definitely they'll be given to the youths. And there's also the extended family that they have a share too for that. Because all these people, like it or not, they have one way or the other affected the upbringing of that particular child. Directly,
not all
or
families,
directly or indirectly. No,
not all families.
That's
some families, they just some families, they don't even know their extended family. So
okay.
You cannot say now that when the girl wants to get married, those extended family that do not even know that the girl existed.
Do you know why you're sounding this way? It's because when you say they don't know their extended family, it's because they don't go home. They don't go to,
the extended family, they don't come to town.
No, the extended family cannot come to town. No,
and the
extended family cannot come to town because your parents came from somewhere. Your parents were not.
But the extended family,
they didn't just.
In the girl's life, they didn't.
They do.
Contribute.
They do. In a way, they do. Like I said, it's because these modern parents, they don't go home. You know, back in the day when this whole thing started from, they you know, it was a communal thing. It wasn't a situation where people will have to travel, like come to the town, to the metropolis, the urban areas to hustle. You know, it was always a communal thing. Anything they did back then was seen, and it affected the family as well. So that's why during the bride price, it's whatever goodies that is shared will go to these different sectors in quotes. You know, so in the bride price, because the bride price list we were talking about, yes, the things that are written, most of the things that are written there are called for, you know, because these are the ones that actually brought the parents now. These are the ones that actually brought up the children. You get?
Yeah.
So definitely, what is in the bride price list is a welcome development. But where it becomes outrageous is when you start bringing number of some items there that are, when you see figures, very outrageous. And the bride price itself, the money, you know, is not one big money. That's why I said for the Urhobo tradition, the Urhobo you know, nation, I think is one of the cheapest when you talk about the bride price.
Okay, yeah, let's still on the bride price list of the Urhobo traditional marriage. Yeah. I see things like a bag of salt. What's that bag of salt for? Why do they have to buy bag of salt? And this has reminded me of when my elder cousin was to get married. He got married to a Yoruba lady. It was a lot. The whole compound was filled with yam, fruits, food stuff. But the yam was what struck me, like, yeah, what's are we going to feed a community? What's going on here? Why do we have so many things like this? And then you now see for the Igbos, you see stuff for the Umuadas, that's the elderly women of the town. You know, if for anything, even if food is not served in that marriage, even if you don't entertain your guests, see that Umuada list. That list for the Umuada, the elderly women. Most of it must be provided.
Most of the tribes have this particular thing you're talking about. Even the Urhobos have it as well. For the elderly women, yes, they do. Like I said, it's a communal thing. If we have to go back to time, you see the reason why these people are included. The mother, if it's in that climb, in that period rather, your mother will be among these women for the women's meeting and what have you.
Okay.
Yes, that's why I said.
Present age, like that's why our topic is in today's world.
Now, in today's world, they are trying to modernize things.
Yes.
By
most of our mothers don't belong to this traditional society.
You know, the funny thing is, if you are really from these nations, these traditional nations, you will go home to pay the dowry. You will go home, and that's why some persons go home to pay the dowry. That's why the Isokos will hold their ground. As in, if the Isokos they don't go home to pay, you see that community, that local government, and the community where that girl comes from, they will still come and hand over that certificate to you.
Okay,
so it is the parents now that will ensure that those things are done. So the groom, whatever needs to be paid normally, if they had gone to the village, will still be paid by the groom.
Okay,
even
wait.
without going home.
Okay, so even if the marriage now, for the fact that they must do those things in their hometown, and you know, for whatever reasons they are not going home, they will still do those things for the people at home.
Yes.
Oh.
So if you decide, like the
But
modernization
doesn't
we're
have
talking
any-
about,
Yeah.
that you know, we don't do that, your mother does not belong to others. So long as your parents come from a community, the important thing is, because when time will tell, the important thing is when your daughter is getting married, the father will send a message to the village. He has an elder brother or an uncle and what have you, that my daughter is getting married.
Yeah.
So what needs to be given to them will be given to them, even if
That
you
makes a lot
don't
of
come.
sense now,
Yeah.
because that reminds me of a friend of mine. When she lost her dad, she wasn't married at the time the dad died, but her older sisters were married, you know. And then when the dad died, you know, they went home to officially tell them that they had lost their father, their brother, and you know, they were now, you know, the normal thing, they'll task them and
Yeah.
all of that. So, but there was this particular tasking. I'll have to call it tasking. They have to task them to say, when you people got married, we were not informed.
Yeah.
You people did not get married to people in the village, so you have to come and do your marriage again before you can bury your father. And that raised a lot of rancor. And
Yeah.
I was why?
No,
Something
no,
of how
it's
many years ago? Why?
no,
Why
it's
did they have to do
it's
all
not like you have to. They just brought that one to you know, put pressure on you
To
to
task them.
do what you need to do. You have to do what you need to do. What you were supposed to do then, when you were getting married, that you didn't do, you will not do
eventually
it
do
then. You know, so that's how it is. Not that you will come and remarry. The only time you will say marry is probably when there's need for it. Maybe you were not really properly married and all that. Some traditions will say, no, before you bury your mother or your father, you have to go get married first and do stuff. Like, for instance, too, still talking about marriage, probably you are separated and your child wants to get married.
Yes.
Or
yes.
maybe you were not even married, not separated,
Yeah.
and your daughter wants to
You're
get
just
married.
cohabiting.
Yes. So in such instance, you know, cohabiting, they will tell you, marry first before.
For your children,
children,
get
yeah.
married. So if it's in a case where,
Excuse me.
okay, let's even dwell on that. If it's in a case where, you know, the father and mother of this person that wants to get married now, they were not married, right, before this young girl wants to get married, and say one of the parents is late. What then happens? Say the man, the father of the girl is late. Who does the woman now get married to?
No, there's no punishment for that. You know, there's nothing they can do about it as long as one of the partner is gone. You know, so it's you just go ahead and do the marriage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've also heard of some traditions. I think the Igbo traditions, where if it's in a case like that, you know, they'll tell you, oh, yeah, the child cannot answer the father's name. It has to be the mother's name or something in that light. So if it's in a case of where the woman, that's the mother of the child, you know, she is not married to the man, the father of the child, and for whatever reasons this child is born, right, the child will not answer the man's name, who's the father, because they are not married. The child will answer the mother's name because she's not officially married to the father of the child.
Well, what I understand about is that thing is as a result of some misunderstanding between the man and the woman. You know, I've seen cases where they are not married, or they were not married, but the child still answered the father's name.
Okay, so you think it's a personal family misunderstanding, not like that's the traditional thing to do?
I don't know if it's a traditional thing, but it's common with the Igbo speaking tribe. You know, it's very common that, you know, when you are not married, the child should bear the maiden's name of the woman. You know, I've heard that a lot. Yeah. I've not seen. But the one I have seen, like I said, is the child answered the father's name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're still on the traditional and cultural rights of the Urobo tradition. Now let's delve into into birth, childbirth. After marriage, it's everybody's prayer that after marriage, the next thing that comes first is the childbearing and bearing of children, and children starts coming in. So now let's talk on the child's birth, child's naming. Okay. Traditional child's naming. So we know that the naming ceremony, well, from what I was also told, for a child's naming, a traditional child's naming, they have to, they will usually do the Christian naming, the 7 days thing, circumcision, all of that. But aside that, they have to do this cultural thing, which I heard they get the sugar, they get salt, they get honey or sugar, and they get oil, either olive oil, the anointing oil. There's an oil in play, and then all of these things have significances. Why do you think that is?
That is traditional matters you are talking about now. For those items, they do have their own significant role to play in the life of that child. Excuse me. It's just likened to the fact that when you take your child for a naming ceremony in the church, the pastor will come forward, bring in your oil, your anointing oil, and put on the forehead of the child. Sometimes even put it in the mouth of the child. Now, that one signifies, from the Christendom, it signifies the Holy Spirit taking charge of the child, right? Now, for those items you just mentioned, the oil, the salt, the sugar, or the honey, these play significant role in the life of the child as well. Yes. How it is that it's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing. Culturally, it's a spiritual thing for that child. Protection from different kind of ailments. And of course, ushering the child's destiny into a better destiny, not to be thwarted, not to be stained, by any external forces and all that. So those are the significance of this particular that's what they believe, because, like it or not, before the advent of Christianity, these things have been playing. They have been there. Yeah. So it's not about probably they copied it from Christianity, where the head pastor of the church will anoint the child with oil and all that. You get. So the simple fact is, these things have been there from time immemorial, and it will continue for those and to those who believe in tradition. Yes, to those who believe in tradition, because it's not every. No, yeah, exactly, exactly, and not every family that want to go through that process you just mentioned. Yeah.
And for those of us that do not know what that means, or for some of us that do not understand what that means, for some people, when they put the salt, the sugar or honey, and then the oil, the salt is supposed to signify preservation. The life of the child is preserved, and for some families they put it in the mouth of the child. Then for the sugar or honey, they put it in the mouth of the child as well, to make the life of the child sweet. And then for the oil, whichever oil, it's meant to signify lubrication, as I was made to understand. It meant so the child will not have rough patches in life, rough parts in life, and all of that. So we would love to know what your culture and tradition is about child naming and childbirth, because on here we just drop it as it is from our perspective, and would love to know your perspective. What is that thing that you think, what is that question that you've been meaning to ask about tradition? Let us hear, let us see it, let us read it in all our social media comments on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. You can also send us a message on WhatsApp, and the number displayed on your screen as text message. We'll be right back. Let's go for this quick break. Stay tuned.
At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services, anticipate, manage, deliver. At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services, anticipate, manage, deliver. At DSAG Engineering and Services, we anticipate, manage, and deliver. Since 2000, we have been a leading EPC company, ensuring customer satisfaction through quality service and timely delivery. With integrity, proficiency, and innovation at our core, we provide world-class solutions tailored to your needs. From engineering designs and construction to procurement, manpower outsourcing, and maritime supplies, DSAG delivers excellence. Partner with us today. Visit www.dsag.net or call +23 4807 254 8724. DSAG Engineering and Services, anticipate, manage, deliver.
Welcome back. All right, before we went on that really quick break, we've been talking about the place of culture in today's world, and my amazing co-host has done justice to this topic. We've been discussing this topic in line with the Urhobo tradition, discussing the traditional marital rights of the Urhobos in this metropolis that we currently are in Warri, Delta State, Nigeria. All right, we talked about, we've delved into childbirth now, but just take us back a little, right? Yeah. In traditional marriages, when they're praying for the couples, when the bride's parents or the elders are praying for the couples, they usually use alcohol or whatever drink they use, and they usually pour it on the ground so they'll tell you they need to appease the gods or they need to do so. What's the significance of that? Because I feel that there are so many things that come from there. But for you, what's the significant meaning of all of that? Libations and all that.
For the Urhobo tradition, and by extension to some, if not all, the tribes in the Niger Delta, especially the Ijos, the Isheke and Urhobo, and then the Isokos, it's a very common thing that you see when they want to bless the couple by the groom's father, because it's the groom's home you are going to pay the dowry. So the groom's father would, when he wants to pray for you or bless the couple,
groom or the bride's father?
Sorry, the bride, I beg your pardon. The bride's father.
Yeah.
So it's the bride's father. That's where you go and pay the dowry, the bride price. So the bride's father, in some cases will stand up to pray, in some other cases will sit, but the couple will kneel before the man, and that's where he prays. Some will pour some form of drinks on the floor. Some will just pray ordinarily. Now there's a significant thing that happens there. The significant thing there is that the woman kneels before the father praying. The man as well kneels before the father praying. Now, there's something very important in that thing that they just did. When they eventually gets married, that thing that the man would do spells doom for one of the couple.
I'm sorry, what? Which thing that who does? What the bride's father does?
That prayer that he will pray to the ancestors, the libation that he does, he carries out that responsibility, spells doom for anybody who, especially for one of the couple who goes out in the form of committing adultery. Yes, especially for the woman. If the woman, after marriage, sleeps with someone outside, there's repercussion. And that repercussion comes as a result from that place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that prayer, the libation, is the root of whatever happens to the woman after marriage.
Yes, whatever she does that is outside of a matrimonial home, especially when she sleeps with another man.
Oh, so do you think so? Or is that your perspective, or that is how it is?
That is how it is. Now,
Wow.
also from that place, if the man is aware that the wife has committed adultery, but did not speak up for tradition to take its course on cleansing and what have you, and eats from the woman's pot of food, or sleeps with that same woman, that thing that occurred on that day will come, instead of on the woman, will now come on the man. The cause for that. So it is very, very significant, that kneeling down and that prayer.
So are you saying that are you saying that intending couples should not kneel down? When they don't pray, they say no, please.
No, you have to. You have to. That is
so
just
are you
a
saying
yardstick.
So are you saying that they shouldn't kneel down to avoid to?
No, you cannot avoid it now. You are going to marry. Just like what the scripture says now. Do not fornicate. Do not commit adultery.
Wow.
So that's why I said, even before the advent of Christianity,
that is the law.
this thing has been there.
So for people that don't have that knowledge, that okay, so these things that happen after marriage is as a result of this libation that is done. Is it not better we just stand and just let them pray and do their
Now,
thing?
let me
just
tell
tell
you.
them, please don't pour any drink.
No, let me tell you.
So avoid future
About 45% of women going into marriage traditionally from this part do not know that thing. So they are only taught or told after marriage.
So now you know. Now you've heard it. You heard it here first. For those of you that did not know, you heard it here first. And Mr. Fred is speaking these facts. This is not his perspective.
No,
He's
it's
telling
not.
you as it is. He's telling you what it is in the Urobo tradition.
Yeah.
So if you are an intending Urobo bride and you did not know this before now, I'm sure now you know. And if you know, you know. All right. So I will still need you to drop your comments on all our social media platforms displayed on your screen. Okay, Mr. Fred, that is a huge one right there.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't see that coming.
It is.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now let's fast forward now to what we call what's it called now? The during the
Talking about
the parents' burial or something. The bride's burial.
In-law greeting.
Yes, the in-law greeting. Yeah, in-law greeting. I'm sorry, this thing I heard now. It really took me off balance, so I had to forget. Yeah, so let's talk in-law greeting.
Yeah.
What is in-law greeting for you? Because I understand that in-law greeting is for the women, right? The husband comes to greet them, and it's a ceremony in burials. If the bride or if the woman in question loses either parents, either their father or her mother, the husband and the husband's friends or the husband's people comes to do the in-law greeting while they are doing their burial ceremony. What is the significance of in-law greeting?
Well, like I said earlier on about one particular thing we talked about, I said just to make things glamorous, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it's all about paying your respect to, your wife's father or mother that has passed on. It's just for you to pay respect to that particular person.
So it's
Nothing more
possible
than
to
that.
as well ignore. Is it possible to ignore?
No, you can't ignore because it is a standard in that tradition with that nation.
So that
Urobo
must be
nation,
done.
Isoko nation, yes, it has to be done.
And then I understand that the husband has to, for some people, the husband puts cloths, fabric, wrapper on the wife's shoulder, and then for some people gives her cash, to wipe away her tears. We already know that she has finished crying. She's literally finished crying, and she has wiped her tears. So why that, wiping of tears? What does that mean?
You can't wipe away culture.
No, I'm not wiping away
No, I'm
culture.
coming.
just here.
There's a place I'm going to.
Okay.
You can't wipe away culture. It's just like you can't wipe away what has been said in the Bible or in the Quran.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So, like I said earlier on when we started, these are the precepts, the ways of life of these people even before the advent of Christianity. It was religiously held onto, followed, adhered to by these people because they lived in a communal setting, not in this modern life we are living in under AC and all that. Back in the day, yes.
Do you have anything against AC?
No, because you know, when we talk about modernization, AC is among them.
No,
I'm not. I don't. There was no AC back in the days. But you know, seriously,
yeah,
that was the way of life. That's how it was passed on from generation to generation, and it must be adhered to. You know, when you hear the Urobo saying Urobo, you know, we know that it means Urobo is one. Though we know literally that is not one. Yes, it's not one. But
from your perspective,
from my perspective, it's not one. Because you know why I said so?
Why?
There's a place you go to in Delta States when they are robos, but when you tell them, they'll tell you they are not robos. So how are they one?
Yes, yeah.
The Okbe man will tell you he's not an Urobo man.
Yeah, so that is a whole
And they are Urobo.
topic for another day.
And they are Urobo, so that's why I said
cultural
literally they are.
diversification.
Yeah.
Why do we have that in play?
Yeah,
Why
so
do we
literally
have...
they are not really one, even though when they say we are one, you know. So this is not what you can wipe out easily. Over time, modernization has brought about, you know, softening some of these things, what's it called, cutting off some genital parts for the women. What's it called, circumcision? You know, on the women's part. I think
they still do it.
I think some people still do that, but at least it has
in this
reduced.
modern age. Some traditional women still do that.
Yes.
As in the babies or the full-grown woman.
Whatever. Yes. Some tradition still holds on to that thing religiously.
What?
Yes, but
oh my
like
goodness.
my point I was trying to make is modernization has brought down that thing, or like how it used to be. Before, it's a must for the Urobo woman to get married. It has not gone through circumcision. That woman will not even be recognized as a woman back in the day. But this is how it all began. Wow. So as time, you know, was going, we started having this modernization. We started having people who were now thinking positively, in quotes, and trying to relax some of these things. And that's why we have on behalf of the ancestors, the audacity to start talking about why is bride price outrageous or not.
All right. Oh, you know? My goodness. Well, yeah. Some people still do this female circumcision.
They do.
Not as it's a traditional thing.
It is. Back for them, they said it controls the libido of a woman. That's what they believed.
Yeah, but
that's what they believed.
But I feel like that's a punishment. Why?
No, to them, they said it helps to reduce these, what's it called now, atrocities when it comes to women going out to sleep, extramarital affairs. They say it helps control. It helps control.
It helps.
Yeah, that's what they feel.
But I know for a fact. I know for a fact that, you know, such a thing could kill. I can only imagine. You know, I've actually never thought of this female circumcision thing because I can only imagine the pain it can cause. And why would you say? I mean,
you go on. Ask why.
This is just triggering me. Like, why would you say that it controls the libido of a woman? But something should be done for the men. Something should be done to also control their own libido too. Because why women? Why is the tradition against women in that case? Why? Mr. Fred, answer me why.
and just to add before we leave, just to add to that prayer during the bride price thing.
Yeah.
You know, the woman with that thing, the woman cannot go and sleep with another man while she's married to a man traditionally. But the man can go outside and do whatever and nothing will happen to him.
That is still brings me back to the question you asked. Now, why
I'm
is the
trying to
tradition
help you.
against?
I'm trying to help you. I just
Why
say,
is
let
tradition
me
against
bring
the women?
that angle to you.
What's the offense? Why is
Let me
tradition
bring that
against
angle
the women?
too.
All right. So lastly, let's talk on the dress code of a proper traditional Urhobo man and proper traditional Urhobo woman. What is for you, Mr. Fred? What is the dress code of a proper traditional Urhobo man?
Tie your wrapper and your lace top.
Okay.
You know, we call it omiregwa.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
that's the name of the top. So that's the proper dress code for the normal Urhobo man. Then for the women,
And then the
it's,
beads. Forgot the beads.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
go for
the
that
beads.
bead.
Yes,
I
I'm
love
sorry.
those beads so
The
much.
beads, yeah, the beads. Then
And then
you
for
have
the
your
women,
hats.
yes,
You
the
have
hats,
your
and then
hats.
the walking stick.
The walking
Okpo.
stick.
I know
Yes,
it.
they call it as okpo. For the women, is basically their blouse, the
Yeah.
top. There's a way they sew it that distinguishes them from every other tribe. And then you must go on your double wrapper, the one at the top and the one at the bottom. You know,
When it's one at the
you
top, you
tie.
look at it as
No,
one
when you tie it from your
your
waist
waist, yeah.
down, you know, there's a one first, then the other one, you know.
All
And
right.
of course, you also have your beads, of course, and
beads,
your
I
what's it
love
called? Your
beads.
there's a name for that fan.
They are juju or what's it called? Yeah.
Even the men also do.
Yeah,
have
the
them
men
as
they
well.
have theirs. All right, that is it on this episode of your perspective to the place of culture in today's world. I hope that you follow through on this, and I hope that you've learned a thing or two, because I learned a lot. I didn't know you learned a thing or two. I learned a lot. All right, drop your comments on our social media platforms displayed on your screen, and we'll be more than glad to read your comments in our next episode. Well, this is it from me, your homegirl Mara Samuels, and my amazing co-host, Mr. Fred O'Neill, and we'll say have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network. This is TVM. This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit of your background into software development?
Okay. My name is Paul Okodowa, and I've been working in the software industry for, say, almost a decade now, 8 years to be precise. And so it was, my introduction into tech was not so straightforward. It wasn't so straightforward. So I started from customer service all the way to customer success, and then I moved to content writing. From content writing then to learning software engineering. So software engineering to content creation, like edtech, educational content creation. And that's where I am now. So it's not been a very, very, very straight journey. But I think my introduction into tech started when I started learning to build websites at the beginning, WordPress and the rest, trying to do, okay, it was HTML. Okay, I think I'm getting it now. I was teaching in a school where I teach people how to design with CorelDRAW, Microsoft Word, those other stuff that we have those days. And there was this book in the office, and it has this how to build a website, very big book. It's from those O'Reilly. I think O'Reilly's how to build website. And I can remember that the first website there in that book was to build a website for a football team called Carnington Cougars. That's the name of the football team. And so I was following it bit by bit, just going through the HTML bit by bit. And I kind of really got interested because it was very easy to just translate what's inside the book all the way to the PC. That was my first experience trying to build website, and then went all the way to Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver was a terrible software though. So I went all the way to Dreamweaver, and then it was from Dreamweaver, just kept on learning, and then YouTube became very popular, and jumped into YouTube and started learning as much as I could. But it was, for the job part of it, it was majorly from customer success. So I didn't just go all the way to website, because I really did not know anything. I had the knowledge, but I really did not know how to put it into use. But I was doing customer success for a tech company. So that's how we just kept on going.
What was that inspiration? From customer success down to software development, now you're into content creation. Although I don't like using the word content creation as a job description, because even if you are creating content, you are creating content about what you do. So what you do is the job.
Okay.
So what was your inspiration towards all through this journey, from one point to the next point? What inspired you to move and get to that point? Okay,
so the first time I was building a website, very cheap website. Then I got that job as a customer success guy. So I was paid 35,000 a month. I can imagine how lean that was. So I was paid 40,000, and then there was tax. There was not tax, it was insurance, I guess. And I think it was 5,000 and then it was 9,000 actually. So I was paying 5,000, my company was paying 4,000, and my take home was 30,000. But the guys those who were building software, they were earning way more than I was. So I was the one involved in scouting the customer, making sure the customer come do business with us. But I was earning very low, very little. And but aside the fact that I was earning little, I'm somebody who's very interested in being the one who's at the top and not the one who's below. So I knew that the easiest way for me to do that would be to build software personally, to move all the way from customer service and build software, even though that doesn't seem like the right thing to do at this in 2025 right now. But what I did was I was taking time to upskill myself and sell my services outside what I was doing for the company. So I was doing customer success. I had things like templates on how to close deals. I had contract draft. So I had access to all the things that was used in that particular company I was working for. So what I did was that I started to freelance on the side. Not trying to build software like they did, because I really did not know the technology they were using. I don't know. I'm not good at the technology, but I knew the technology they were using, but I'm not very good at it. So I started to freelance on the side. So I started with website development. That's what I started with, and just kept on going. And then website development, I was doing website development for Nigerians, right? But you know how Nigerians can be. Somebody says, I'm going to pay you 200,000, and that 200,000, you will use it to design heaven and earth for me. So I wasn't so comfortable with kind of relationship I was having with Nigerians. So I thought, what would be the easiest thing for me to do for people outside? So I realized that probably my decision then, probably if I had continued web design, I would have been able to take it outside. But my decision then was that I was going to begin to build software, build web software, apps, internet tools, external tools for people outside the country. And that's just basically how I just started, building all of that. So when I say I'm a content creator, maybe that's the wrong word to use because I don't create content that makes people happy and all that stuff. So I would say that I'm a teacher. So I teach. I teach software development. Tech education. I teach software development online. That's what I do. So I don't really entertain anybody. In fact, if you're looking forward to be entertained, you won't really watch my content. You won't.
All right, now down to the tech, because I understand that there are careers or skills or businesses that thrive in the right ecosystem, right? So is there a developer hub in Benin, because you are based in Benin right now? Is there kind of a group, a developer hub where you guys